So smacking into each other or the wall will help that happen. Okay, which rate of reaction is increased more? Forward or reverse? Forward. Why? Yes. Actually, you know what? I'm going to ask Evan because Evan never gets to answer. Nathan always gets to answer. Why? Ah, that's not always true. And this is why I like to get you to chat through your ideas, because in an exothermic reaction, the products are, oh no, they're more stable. What am I saying? In an endothermic reaction, oh my God, okay. Really need a weekend here. Less stable. Yes, it is Friday. Thank God. I'm just about dying here. I'm like, ah. Okay, less stable. So if you have an endothermic reaction, it becomes less stable in the forward direction. Does that make sense? So there must be another reason. Rigel, you think it's the reverse? Why? Shh. This, we don't know the thermicity of this reaction. We don't know if it's endo or exo. Doesn't matter. That whether it's endo or exothermic does not affect whether it's affected by pressure. Adriana, you're dying to tell me. You are increasing the concentration of 4 particles as opposed to increasing the concentration of 2 particles. So the side with more gas molecules experiences the greater rate of change. Yes. Yes. So pressure, because pressure is like concentration, yes? Because you are squishing it. So you are affecting 4 concentrations here, yes? And over here, you're only affecting 2 concentrations. If you think of it in terms of rate law, and I know you can't really think of it in terms of rate law because it's not really, no, never mind. Pretend I said nothing. Pretend I said nothing. I think I'm going in a dangerous place where I'm going to be wrong, so just pretend I said nothing. Therefore, which rate will experience a greater increase? Forward. Okay. Why does the direction with the most gas molecules experience the greatest change? We basically just talked about that. So as we squish the container, let's say we halve the volume, cut it in half the volume. We go from having 4 molecules per liter into having 4 molecules per half liter, which is then going to give us 8 molecules per liter of those particular type. Over in our products, we only have 2 things reacting. So we go from having 2 molecules per liter to having 2 molecules per half a liter, and so that would then give us 4 molecules. So the change here was 4 molecules per liter. And the change here was only 2 molecules per liter. So we have a greater change in concentration, therefore the forward rate is affected more. Over on the right-hand side, we have a smaller change in concentration, there the reverse, therefore the reverse rate is affected less. So therefore the forward rate increases more than the reverse rate. Yes. Yes. In a double replacement reaction, there is no pressure because double replacement reactions take place in aqueous solution. Yeah? Okay. So, both rates have changed. Specifically, they have increased. But since which rate increased more? Forward rate increased more. The what rate is greater than the what rate? Forward is greater than the reverse. So we're going to draw like that because that's going to help us say which way is it shifting? It's shifting to the right. We are making products faster than we are using them up, so the system is shifting to the right. Now, on an AP exam, are you going to have to explain this in terms of rate? I don't think so. Like, I would highly doubt that they're going to have you explain the shifting in response to a change in pressure in terms of rate. But it helps you understand why, right? So if you go through that, you're going to understand why. Here's just a more mathematical representation. I'm not going to go through that because I think you guys get that. So basically, the greater the amount of gas molecules on a side, it causes a greater change in concentration, which in turn means there's a greater change in rate. Therefore, the forward rate changed more. So originally, before we stress the system, what are the rates like? They're the same. After we changed the rate, when we decreased the volume, what happened to the rate? This one got bigger. What happened to the bottom one? It increases, but not as much. So you can see both of them increased, but the backward reaction did not increase as much. Therefore, the forward rate is greater than the reverse rate, making the forward rate faster. Oh, making, sorry, products faster than using them up. I don't know why there's no up there. And therefore you're shifting to the right. That's just restating it in a bit tidier fashion, okay, without so many words. Let's graph what happens when we decrease the volume. Here is our rate diagram. We got rate, versus time, forward rate, reverse rate, Tell your partner what you're going to do with those two rates. Yeah. You mean the reaction arrows? No, you just kind of make them bigger or smaller, depending on. And it's really only you wouldn't actually draw them that way necessarily. It's just a tool for you to figure out which way it's shifting. You know what I mean? Like it's like, okay, this rate's faster, so it's shifting that way, right? Yeah. Yes. Sorry. As the equilibrium changes, shouldn't the pressure change as well? And yes, because remember, if we were to explain this in terms of Le Chatelier, we squished the container so the pressure went up. Therefore, the system is going to shift to the side with fewer gas molecules to bring the pressure back down. So that would be a Le Chatelier argument, yes. Okay, what's going to happen to our rates in this instance when we decrease the volume, increase the pressure? What happens? Forward rate spikes. What happens to our reverse rate? Also spikes, but not as much. So I'm actually going to make my red spike a little bit bigger just so I can differentiate them more easily. So they both spike. And then what happens? One goes down and the other goes up. And they meet kind of in the middle somewhere. Yeah. Okay. And I'm going to make that even bigger so I have an easier time drawing it. Okay, so there's our rate diagram. Concentration diagram. Now, concentration diagrams for pressure changes are messy. I can almost 100% guarantee they're not going to show up on the AP exam because it's really hard to draw them, and we cannot draw them accurately without using a really big piece of paper. Okay? And we'll look at why that is in a moment. Okay? But we have N2, H2, NH3, concentration, time, and here we decrease the volume. What happens to the concentrations when we decrease volume? Tell your partner. Okay, now you're kind of on the right track, but not exactly. Okay. Yeah. So when I squish it, let's just assume that I have the volume. I cut it in half. What happens to all the concentrations? They double. Now let's imagine that we had to draw doubling on this graph. What happens if I try to double N2? I'm like, Like I've run out of room, yes? So we don't actually try to make the increases as they should be. I mean, you could put everything really close to the axis, but you still end up with lines overlapping each other, okay? So we don't even attempt to make the spikes the correct size. Yes. Pardon me? Nobody's going to ask you this on the AP test. But they actually, that's not true. They will give you some diagrams like this, and they'll say like, what was the stress, or could you show what happens to the concentration? So yes, it will be a concentration diagram. Yeah? Okay. Now, so we don't even attempt to make them the right size because, yes? No. They're going to spike. So if I was to really show what it would look like, actually, let's make them all different colors, and I'm going to do it over, I don't know, here somewhere. So if I half the volume, that means that everybody's going to double. So this is going to double. So it ends up way up there, right? And the blue one is going to double. Do you see where I start running into problems even if it doesn't go off the page? Because I'm like, now my blue overlaps with my black and I can't really see it, right? And now the red doubles. Okay, I managed to do a little bit better job with that. It doesn't overlap, okay? But it becomes really ugly. So instead of doing that, we don't attempt to make the spikes the correct size. We simply say they all go up, 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 up. Doesn't matter how much. We don't try and make them the same. We just say they all go up. Is good? Okay. No, no, just leave it alone, okay? Okay, now we shift. This side has more molecules, so are we going to shift towards that side or away from that side? Oh, we're going to shift away from that side. So we are going to be making NH3. So NH3 is going to go up. What should happen to H2? It will go down by 3x. Now NH3 went up by 2x. That's not a very good arrow because it doesn't show where I start and finish. So that's 2x. And so H2, maybe I'll draw it in red just to distinguish it. It should go down by 3x. So that should be about 1, 2, that's 3, about here. I'm going to say that's 3x. Okay. And then N2 is going to go down by x. Yes. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter where they end up relative to where they were originally. They are unrelated to each other. Like where the NH3 started does not affect where the H2 ends up. Those are unrelated concepts. It doesn't matter because the spike is arbitrary. And that's why I feel like you will not get a concentration diagram related to pressure on the AP exam because it is so messy and so inaccurate. No, that's in when you change a concentration. Okay? Yeah, but like I said, it's going to be, it's so inaccurate that we can't really do much with it. Okay, so concentration diagrams for changes in pressure are wildly inaccurate. Okay, so just go with it. Can I say it 3 more times and then you'll stop asking me about it? Just go with it, just go with it, just go with it, just go with it. They're wildly inaccurate. They will not be on the AP exam. Just go with it. Okay? Wildly inaccurate. Don't try and make it accurate. It won't work. Okay? At least not in this context. If you want to get yourself a big ass piece of paper and draw the whole thing and have things overlapping and have colors that overlap, you go for it. But we are not doing that as a class. Yes? No, because we don't necessarily have 3 moles. It reacts in a 3-2-1 fashion, but that doesn't tell you how much you actually have. Does that make sense? So you could actually have a very small amount of H2 compared with the other ones, depending on what you put in to start with. It's just that 3 of those will react for every 1 N that reacts. Does that make sense? Cool. Okay. We're going to go to this little simulator here. Oh, I forgot to. Okay, fine. This is what, 2.2C? Okay. Dropbox, Chem 12, equilibrium, 2.2C. Sorry. When it prints into OneNote, it doesn't keep the clickable link. So I have to go here to get the clickable link. Usually I copy them on as a clickable link, but I forgot to do this one apparently. Okay. Whew. Ooh, look at this. Yes? Okay. Now, can you see the one that we've got NO2, and these are little NO2s. They look like Mickey Mouse, yes? So in this one, we are all the way over at the reactants, yes? If I squish this one, we're all the way over at the products. You can see when the pressure is greater, we have shifted to the side with fewer molecules in order that the pressure is smaller, yes? When we have a lot of space, we are shifted to the side with more molecules to fill up the space to bring the pressure back up. Now, shall we slide them around a bit? Look at that. Now we have a couple of N2O4s and still a majority of NO2s. Oh, did you see how a couple of those split apart to keep the pressure? And oh, let's see. Oh, there we go. There goes another one. And now we're in equilibrium, and they will just stay there because the macroscopic properties are constant if I'm not shifting the pressure. Now I'm going to stress it one more time. Oh, yeah. Now we're at a new equilibrium. Now I'm going to stress it one more time. Here we go. Okie dokie. So this is a nice little thing. So if you forget what happens, you can always look at that link yourself. All right, so here is a static picture of what's happening. We decrease the pressure, we increase the volume. That is our stress, but I don't want it on this page. I want it on that page. There we go. Okay, so here we have 2A going to B. The stress was, what was the stress? The stress was a increase or decrease in pressure. It was an increase in pressure. This is the Le Chatelier argument. Tell your partner, what did Le Chatelier say? What is Le Chatelier's principle? Okay, Le Chatelier's principle. When a what? System at equilibrium is stressed. The system, if you're not actually answering the question, then just stop talking, it's annoying. The system will shift in order to minimize the stress. Whoops, I can't spell. And I can't put a line where I can actually write on it, apparently. Is good. So this explanation that we are doing here is no longer a rate explanation. This is a Le Chatelier explanation. So the stress was to decrease the pressure. What is going to happen? We want to minimize the stress, so the system needs to shift so that the pressure goes down. So there was an increase in pressure, so we're going to shift to the side with more or fewer gas molecules. Fewer gas molecules. In other words, in this particular reaction, that's going to be, which side has fewer gas molecules? The right side. The smaller total number of moles will bring the pressure back down. Fewer gas molecules mean fewer collisions with the side of the container, therefore the pressure decreases. Here's a Le Chatelier's principal perspective on increasing the volume. What was our stress here? The pressure decreased. That was our stress. Pressure decreased. And if the pressure decreases, which way will the system shift? Towards the side with more gas molecules. In other words, to the left. That's going to give us a greater total number of moles to bring the pressure back up. More molecules mean more collisions, and therefore the pressure increases. Is good? Okay. Do you think you could fill these in on your own? You want to try? Okay. So in the first instance, you are increasing pressure by decreasing the volume. Hi. Okay. All good. Yes. You're good? Okay, I've put up the answer to the first box there. You can check it. There might be other ways of answering it, like as long as it has the same meaning. Okay. You can check the answers to your second box there if you want to. And there is your third box. No shift. No, yeah, but I mean, no shift is like what you're gonna see. So you would see, like if we did a concentration diagram, let's just say we had two different species here, you would see them both go up. Yes. Then what would they do? They would just go across. Yes? Is that good? Okay, cool. Now try the Le Chatelier's explanations. Fill in those boxes. done? Is that what? Oh, okay. Sorry. I was taking advantage of the fact and marking some of my grade 9's quizzes that I would like to get back to them today. Okay, if the stress was an increase in pressure by decreasing the volume, the system shifts to the side with fewer gas molecules to bring the pressure back down. If the stress was a decrease in pressure by increasing the volume, the system will shift to the side with more gas molecules to bring the pressure back up. And if there is the same number of gas molecules on each side, shifting will not be able to counteract the change in pressure, so there will be no shift. You will see a spike, but no shift. Yes? If it changes the, no. Okay. So here we go. We have the rate diagram. Forward. Reverse. Let's say that we decrease the pressure. Why not? What should happen to both of those lines? They're going to go down. So here goes the red line, the forward reaction. How far down will the reverse reaction go? Same. And then what will happen? They just go straight. Yeah. What's going to happen with our concentration diagram? All of them are going to go down. By how much? Doesn't matter, because remember, it's wildly inaccurate. Yes? Okay. And what happens now? They all just go across. Is good? Okay. And I think that's it for this one. So we're going to move on to page. Oh, where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Temperature is on page 50. 50. Is the forward reaction, oh yes, of course. Is the forward reaction endothermic or exothermic? This one here, page 50. Oh, that was supposed to be a highlighter. Exo, thank you. Reverse reaction, therefore, is endo. Which reaction has the higher activation energy? Reverse. And if you have trouble envisioning that, we're going to draw it here. Okay, so we have a forward reaction, which is exothermic, so it should look like this. Forward is exo, reverse is endo, and you can see that the endothermic direction has the larger activation energy and the exo has the smaller activation energy. So the endothermic reaction always has the higher EA. What happens to the forward rate when we increase the temperature, and why? Tell your partner, please. Okay, what happens to the forward rate and why? The forward rate increases why? You have to speak loudly. I know, it sucks, right? Yes, so we have more frequent collisions. And what can we say also about those collisions? A larger percent of collisions have sufficient energy to react. What happens to the reverse rate when the temperature is increased? Oh, that was a sad little, I got like 3 people answering me. You should all be able to tell me when I increase temperature, what happens to rate? It increases. I don't care if it's forward or reverse, it just increases. Why? Same. Okay. Which rate is increased more? The endothermic. So this is the EA of the exothermic reaction. Here, let's put them all so we can see them on the screen at the same time. Oh no, that's the endo. Okay. I should make a bigger space for that. And this is the exo. And the exothermic reaction is the forward. And the exothermic is the reverse. Now, I approximated like what percentage we have that actually meets the minimum energy required. Yes. This is a higher energy. Oh, I don't know. Forward reaction is exothermic. You're good? Okay, it's all good. It's all good. I was confused too. I almost wrote the wrong thing like twice. So yeah. But I picked these values because I'm like, at my higher temperature, you can see that I have about 50%, yes, that is able to react. Whereas I only have that percent. The colder sample is much, much less. Yes? Now, if I have a lower activation energy, I still have a bunch of red stuff, but proportionally, out of that red stuff, there is a higher proportion which is also blue. Does that make sense? And if it doesn't make sense, you can just memorize it. It affects the endothermic reaction more, okay? Yes? Any increase in temperature, not in rate, but in temperature, any increase or decrease in temperature will affect the rate of the endothermic reaction more. Yes? Yeah? Okay. So changing the temperature affects the rate of the endothermic reaction more. After increasing the temperature, which rate is faster? So here's our heat term. I would like you to draw the new arrows above and below. What happens to both rates? Both rates increase. Which one increases more? The endothermic. Is endothermic in this case forward or reverse? Reverse. So it's going to be more. And exo also increases, but it increases less. So which rate is faster? The reverse. If the reverse rate is faster, what are we making faster? Reactants. And this is where it's really nice to just look at this and go, oh, that's a bigger arrow. I am making reactants faster. Yes, the visual can be a really nice clue. I am making reactants faster. And therefore, if I am making reactants faster, I am shifting to the left. Rate diagram. Do you think you could draw a rate diagram? Try it. And if you've done the rate diagram, you can do a concentration diagram. finish the first graph, the rate diagram, so I can draw it up there so you can check it? Okay, cool. Did we increase temperature? Yes, we did. Okay, good. Phew. I don't know why I dashed that one. Are we done with the second graph? Okay, what should happen to my N2? Okay, so here we have our increase in temperature. And actually, do you remember those little arrows we did above the... You can treat heat as though it is a thing. And you can say, I am increasing the concentration of kilojoules by increasing the temperature. You're not really doing that, but you can use this same trick where you say, I've increased it on the right, and so I am shifting away from the increase. Yes? So when you increase or decrease temperature, you use the kilojoules as the thing you're increasing or decreasing. It's not like a real explanation, it's just to predict the shift quickly, okay? So we're shifting away, so we are making reactants and we are using up products, so N2 should go up because we're making it. Yes? We're shifting to the left, we're making N2, we're making H2. So it's gonna go up by X. That almost looked like an S curve. That made me very unhappy. Let's un-S that. There we go. How about H2? It's also gonna go up. I'm sorry, my drawing's getting really bad here. By 3x, which doesn't look like 3x at all. That's why I've labeled it. It looks more like 2x, if that, maybe 1.5x, I don't know. And then what's gonna happen to NH3? Down by 2x. What feature does this graph not have that other graphs of stresses have? There are no spikes on a temperature stress graph. Okay. We have no minutes left, basically. So you are going to do pages 46 through 49. And that's in the pink book. And then in the orange book, borrow your orange book. Yes, I will post it up this weekend. I'll post the Orange Book answers this weekend. Hi.
Explain this question again. Like I think I got this question around like 3 times.
Okay, so if we're going this way, what are we making faster?
Backwards?
Yes, because we're like, blah, and this one's only like, blah. Good.
So whatever you make faster is whichever.
That's the direction you're shifting towards. Because shifting means I'm making more of that side. If I shift towards the reactants, I'm making more of the reactants. That's what that means.
I thought shifting was when you wanted to go back to the side. So why aren't we going like to the other side?
You're trying to bring a concentration back up that has been decreased, or we're trying to bring a concentration down that has been increased. So if I increase the concentration of NH3, the system's going to use it up. So we're going to be shifting towards the reactants.
Like, oh my gosh, stop.
Science night.
Oh, so I'm shifting towards this side because
If I was to have increased the NH3. Okay, I have to mark these by the end of lunch. So I'm going to, if you want to drop by after school for a minute, I will be here.
so there's something that wraps around my head.
It's okay. Think about it. I will be here after school if you have questions, okay? Yeah. Hi.
Why does it still count as a decrease of it?
Huh?
You know how like they spike down and
Yeah.
aren't they still above their original values?
Why is it not above the original value?
Why is it still like
Below the original value?
why does it count as like a decrease? Like they spike and then they go wait, let's say like
If it spikes
yeah.
and then it goes up, it still overall has been a net decrease because it's lower than the original value. Is that the question
But
you're
isn't
asking?
that the original value?
Yes. And what are we at? We're below it.
Oh, well, what is the opposite then? We're at a net gain a little
Well, you're only going to have a net when you have both a spike and a shift, right? Because this one, there's no net. It just goes down.
Okay. Well, what if it spikes up and it comes back down? It's still
Then it'll be a net
little bit?
increase. It'll be a net increase.
And then the x's don't have to like balance out because this is like 2x, 1x, and that's 1x, 1x. So like it doesn't have to balance out to 0, right?
No, no. Okay, I need to turn off my projector.
Oh, yes.
I have like 5 minutes.
We do not know the same festival. What are you talking about? Wait, what? Okay, WTF. The Earth should complain to her. Oh. You don't know that. You don't know that. Oh. Oh yeah, right. I was like, oh okay. Her cholesterol was like literally 2 kilograms higher than what it's supposed to be. Yeah, that makes sense. She's always stuck with me. Oh my god! I was just gonna say that. She's like, oh, we should get coffee pot after class. In the morning, she's always talking about coffee. You know, another donut shop she was talking about. Once, it's in like a chicken store, like there's donuts. Really? Yeah, she says that. Usually, like, okay, I don't know, but like, I feel like the way she's talking about is like, there's one opening from it's like really like, she was like, yeah, this is really fancy, it's like coffee, and then like this one, the donut, and then like live like right next to each other. Very awkward. Or like yeah, why would you discount if it wasn't expired? You know the people who work in Singapore that somehow you can take picture of the expired date. You have a copy of it that's expired and you can take it home for free. You don't know what I was gonna say. You don't know what I was gonna say. Wait, what were you doing for your class? So like trying to make a no, but like no, no, but the one from before. Oh yeah.